Grande Guerra, The Great War, is a 1959 film by Mario Monicelli. Both a comedy and a war drama, it's one of my favorite movies and among the best coming from Italy. Before I explain anything about it, let me tell you the context in which it came to be. Indeed, the film is what it is because of a very particular situation. Monicelli said that he wanted it to not follow any specific character or storyline, but instead be a choral experience, a melting pot of anguish. But then he got Italian superstars Vittorio Gassman and Alberto Sordi, today mostly known for their comedies. The duo got more and more involved in the production and the plot became about their characters. So we ended up with their brand of humor mixed with Monicelli's Italian-style comedy, while still retaining interesting and fun minor roles. La Grande Guerra premiered at Venice Film Festival, where it got some harsh criticism because it wasn't miserable enough. A movie about the Great War that doesn't make me wanna kill myself?
How frightfully uncouth.
Monicelli actually cucked out a little bit and admitted that the film was far removed from his original vision. Then it got released to the public and everyone loved it. It was a tremendous success and I don't think there's any criticism I can give it that isn't, at least partially, justifiable by its old age, like some less than convincing ADR and occasional bugs on the lenses. Since this is a comedy, I won't just analyze the plot like I usually do. There's just no way I can do the humor justice while getting the movie, so I suggest you watch it. Now, the subtitles I found online were seriously lacking. Some seemed made by machines and others failed to translate jokes properly. So I decided to make subtitles myself. Jesus Christ, I hope I don't have to do this again, it's soul crushing. I also made an SDH version, which hopefully is good enough. So if you're deaf, well, first of all,
grab my penis, little bitch.
And second, enjoy the movie. The links are down in the description, so when you go to the legally purchased bay and legally purchase a 2 hour and 12 minutes copy of this movie, you'll be set. One peculiar difficulty I found in translating the film was the sheer variety of accents, slang and dialect used. You can actually understand a lot about the characters from their accent or lack thereof. Furthermore, characters will sometimes use heavy dialect to emphasize their seriousness, which is something Italians still do. Yeah, the various Italian people had their own fully fledged languages before the unification, which happened less than 60 years before the Great War. A little anecdote, when Italy was unified, Massimo Tazzelio, a politician and artist, said "Fatta l'Italia, bisogna fare gli italiani", or "Italy's created, now there's Italians to be made". The Italian people, while now living under a unified state, had languages and cultural barriers to overcome. Africa. Even today, while virtually no one speaks dialect exclusively anymore, there's mannerism and slangs unique to each province, if not each town. However, it is said that the Piave River, where the Austro-Hungarian advance after Caporetto was stopped, is where the Italians were forged. With Venice in peril and with virtually everyone having family members at the front, many historians pinpoint the Piave battle as a nation-spanning moment. Today the battle for the Piave River is considered a moment of historical importance for Italian culture, in no small part aided by the legend of the Piave song. But enough with the history lessons, what's this movie about? Well, it's about our two main characters, Oreste, a coward who hides his fear behind a patriotic facade, and Giovanni, a self-centered criminal that hides his opportunism as fighting the man.
Quello che vi frega voi altri popoli non emancipati che mangiate il sapone è il fatalismo rinunciatario.
We follow them through the war as they try their best to both save their hide and get out of dangerous or arduous situations. Being an old-timey film, the humor doesn't come from a gag-a-minute pace, but mostly from the characters and the situations they find themselves into. But there's also a bit of slapstick and a surprising fourth wall break. It is also a very Italian movie. Aside from the humorous dialect usage, there's also plenty of gestures. Like the corna. Fare le corna, or doing the horns, is something you do when somebody else implies bad thing might happen to you or someone you care for. Saying that somebody has horns equals to calling them a cuck. So you're basically saying I'd rather you get cucked, which frankly I think it's wonderful.
Oh, chapa!
I also think this movie is pretty good looking for the time. Not only the action scenes are well executed, but there's some interesting cinematography and it showcases some beautiful Italian landscapes and locations. The most unique feature of La Grande Guerra are probably the transition screens that show the lyrics of songs that then go to score the scene. They might just be a remnant of the original screenplay, because, you know, we weren't supposed to follow any particular characters, so this might have helped to connect the plot lines. But I actually think they were there to encourage the audience to sing along, further strengthening the Everyone's Italian theme introduced by the number of dialects. Also to notice the music, it's mostly comprised of different instrumental renditions of Great War era chants, most of which were a cappella. Speaking of themes, impressive is that the film is neither jingoistic or pacifist, different characters have different opinions of the war and none is explicitly right or wrong, although the usual Monicelli disdain for politicians is present. Our main characters also have an interesting arc, with a beautiful resolution. So I hope you'll forgive me for the short video, but I don't want to spoil too much of the movie. I'm not sure if it will resonate as much with a foreign audience, but I hope it will. It's great if you don't mind reading subtitles, and if you're not a die-hard supporter of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, whose soldiers are so evil, they ruin the scene by staring at the camera. Jokes aside, despite being the antagonists, the Austrians aren't portrayed as an evil people. Anyway, I hope I convinced you guys to give this movie a watch. I've got nothing but praise for it, and I've kept the plot vague on purpose to avoid spoilers. Okay, that was La Grande Guerra. Thanks for watching. See ya!
Pronto?
Befreiter Franz Kreuger, via del Infanterieregiment.
Poi ma che cos'è che dice? Non si capisce niente qui.
Er ist am Apparat. Ich verstehe nicht.
Ma che cosa fate? C'è un tedesco qui!
Ma dov'è che ti sei attaccato, bestia?
E mi sono ingessato. Andiamo.